What if I told you that you could get great tools at half price, or even better in some cases? Now, I'm not talking about cheap tools or cheap brands or knockoffs, but I'm talking about great tools like Milwaukee and dewalt at incredible prices. Well, it's true, and in this video I'm going to tell you how.
There's no reason to pay the full price. For the price of what a tool costs, it's $200 to go down and get a Milwaukee drill with no battery. You can come here and get that same tool with a battery for like $100.
We're here, couple bucks. We keep it nice and cheap.
So I am talking about pawn shops. And I recently visited a great pawn shop to talk to the owner, Scott Nell, about how pawn shops work and get from him the very best tips and tricks on how you can get great deals on tools at pawn shops. So let's first talk about how pawn shops work. And for that, let's hear from Scott.
The best way to describe a pawn shop is they are short-term loans. They're quickies. Usually we're just here to help people, or sometimes we just purchase outright.
So pawn shops really have two businesses. The first is that they lend people money using their own items as collateral. The pawn shop keeps their items as long as they're paying on the loan, and at a certain point they can come back and pay back the loan with interest and get their items back, or they can forfeit it and the pawn shop now has their items to sell. The second business is that they buy and sell items directly from people. People can sell their items to the pawn shop without taking a loan. And here's what Scott said about that.
Back pre-COVID, 85% of our stuff was loans. And now it's almost half and half.
Okay.
People are getting rid of their items because the economy's gone cuckoo, right?
Yeah.
And so they're having to sell a lot of their stuff. But a lot of people just go, they just have that bump in the road, whether the boss is out of town, didn't deposit their check right. I don't know, you have a medical expense that's really quick, the car breaks down, well, you got to be able to get the car fixed, go to work.
Yeah.
So we help the community that way. We help a lot of small businesses because they can't get traditional loans. You can't go in the bank and get $500 today in 5 minutes.
So this is where there are some criticisms of pawn shops. Some people think that they are predatory, and maybe some of them are, but as Scott explained it, if he didn't give fair prices to the people selling or pawning their items, no one would ever come in.
But my goal is I want to treat the selling customer fair, or they're not going to come back.
Right.
I want to treat my buying customers fair, or they'll go somewhere else. They're not going to come back, and I got to treat my team fair. So it's a balancing act that we do, but we try and keep our prices really low.
So while there are some legitimate criticisms of pawn shops, in my view, I think that there's a huge difference between a pawn shop and something like a payday lender. At a pawn shop, there's no hit to your credit, and if you don't pay, they eventually just take your collateral. And I think that people understand that when they leave their item that they're pawning with the pawn shop. It's simple, it's easy to understand, whereas other kinds of short-term loans like payday lenders or even credit cards may be much more complicated and confusing and can really get people into trouble. But that said, the interest rate is pretty high. The loans, what's generally the rates that you give on the loans that you give out?
So we charge 15% interest per month. So $100 is going to cost you $15. It's quick. We are the short-term game that way. We are not the long game when it comes to that. We're the short game. We're quick. Let's get the money you need, come back and get your stuff, be done with it. It isn't paid for months and months and months.
But what pawn shops are doing aren't free. It's a business. He has to put up the money, he has employees he has to pay, and he has to keep the lights on.
A small loan takes so much energy. By the time you do your paperwork, you do all your insurances, your security, you pay your team. The small loans, there isn't really any profit there. It's very little. It all goes to labor, right?
Yeah.
But so the higher loans, the 1,000 and above, we're going to do 10% a month. And then we get up to 5,000, we're going to go 8% a month. You get up to 10,000, 20,000. I'm going to keep dropping it so that it's more reasonable.
So enough about how pawn shops work. Let's talk about how you can get the very best deals on tools at pawn shops. But before we get into that, let me tell you about this video's sponsor. So I've got 4 kids, which basically means that somebody in my house is always sick. Fever here, a cough there, a mystery rash over there. You get the idea. And if you're like me, juggling work and projects and just generally trying to keep everyone alive, the last thing you want to do is play phone tag just to talk to a doctor. In fact, there was a time a few months back when my son needed a last-minute sports physical, but a regular doctor couldn't get us in for weeks. This is exactly the time where ZocDoc, this video's sponsor, can help. Instead of calling around, sitting on hold, or being told the next available appointment is weeks away, you can just open the ZocDoc app and search local in-network doctors, see real patient reviews, and check out detailed profiles. And the best part, you can actually see appointment openings, not just call us and we'll let you know, but real times that you can book instantly. There's no stress, no waiting, no procrastination spiral, and ZocDoc is free to use, which still blows my mind. Now, if you've been putting off your own appointment, or you're like me and constantly dealing with kid chaos, just click the link in my description to find a doctor using ZocDoc. Seriously, clicking that link is a small thing that makes a huge difference. Taking care of your health just got easier. Head to ZocDoc.com/DIY with Dave to get started and finally check that appointment off your to-do list. All right, so let's talk about how you can get the very best deals on tools at a pawn shop. And the first thing is to be aware of prices. And by that, I mean what things are really worth and what you'd be willing to pay. Don't buy something that isn't a fair price. My father-in-law, who shops at a bunch of pawn shops and introduced me to Scott, said that years ago, the pricing at places like this was a bit wacky. Sometimes the prices were ridiculously high, and other times the prices were ridiculously low, in part because the pawn shops didn't always know what they had. Nowadays, with the internet and so many other tools, it's harder to find those outrageous deals because there's so much information out there. In fact, I'm curious to hear from you. What are the best deals that you've ever gotten at a pawn shop? Leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. The point here is that prices are really important, and you need to find a place that has fair prices. So with some of these tools, how do you decide how you price them?
So there's a great way to do it. Number one is experience, knowing when stuff moves, because I do not need this to be a museum, Dave. Yeah. I'm ready to sell, right? We try and keep our prices really low. The way we found them, you got Amazon, Google, you've got the history of my program, and you can look all over the internet, but then there is the common sense. What is something worth? The condition of it. You can't go off the number of eBay. They already bought it on eBay.
Right.
That seller's gone. So you really have to go and dig and make sure you're getting good prices and make sure you find the low price, not the high price.
Right.
When people are selling, you can find the highest price you want, but it's the low price that's hard to find. So we really try and read between the lines and find out what stuff's worth. I like to move stuff fast and keep it going.
And that kind of brings me to the next point, and that is that it matters a lot which pawn shop you go to. You need to find a shop that you can trust, and here's some advice that Scott has for picking a good pawn shop. You mentioned, there are sometimes some unscrupulous, pawnbrokers around. So what are your suggestions for how you find a good pawn shop?
Number one is pride in the product. Go walk around the store. Is it organized? Is it dusted? Does it stink in here? Does it feel welcoming? Do you get a smile when you walk in the door? Does it feel right? Go look it up. Go take your phone and have a look and compare something really quick. Is the price seem reasonable?
When people come in, is there like a tool brand that people tend to gravitate towards?
Milwaukee, number one.
Milwaukee, number one?
Number one, hands down. It's a great seller, so I can pay way more, still market fair, and make less because it turns fast.
Okay.
So that's why we get so much, because we pay really fair.
Right.
I work off of very slim margins because I want you to come back. I don't want one and done.
Yeah.
So find a store, a pawn shop, where you walk in and you get that friendly vibe. You get smiles. I'm thankful you're a customer.
Yeah.
And I want you in and I want you back as a customer. I'm longevity. I'm about the long game.
And another way to find a good pawn shop is Google reviews.
Go to their Google reviews. We've got 3,600 5-star Google reviews here that constantly say, you guys are great, your prices are great, you're amazing. Hard to get a 4.9 rating on Google for a pawn shop?
Yeah.
Give me a break.
If people are being scammed at a pawn shop, regardless of which side of the transaction that they're on, then they're going to leave a bad review. And so you know that the pawn shop with a high number of good reviews is going to be a good place to go. So once you've found a good pawn shop, now you've got to really scrutinize the tools themselves. You need to make sure that the tools are clean and that they're in good working order. And here's what Scott had to say about that. How do you check on the condition of the tools to make sure that they're in working order?
As you can see, Dave, look at that. Clean, 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 clean. There's your number one.
Right.
Yeah, I don't want junk. I'm an old contractor. I'm not going to buy junk. So I want to make sure we got good quality items in here that are clean. My team spends a long time shining, making sure we test them. But one unique thing about us is we guarantee everything. I want it to work the way you expect it to work when you get home. If not, get your money back.
Right.
If we got took and it's broken, it's on us, it's not you.
So it's actually pretty incredible that a pawn shop would guarantee their tools. I've never heard of that before. But as Scott said, he's looking for repeat customers. He's playing a long game. And if customers feel scammed by him or scammed by a pawn shop in general, they're not going to come back. They're not going to come back to pawn their items, not going to come back to buy things. And that really can put a business out of business pretty quick. You should also find a pawn shop that has the things that you like, the things that you're into. There are some things that you may find at all pawn shops, things like guns and guitars, but sometimes certain pawn shops will have specialties, certain things that they specialize in. And walking around Scott's shop, I'm seeing a big variety of tools.
You know, there's a nice tile saw, pressure washers. We do get mowers, aerators, motorcycles.
There were also a bunch of power tools. Basically, any kind of tool that he can resell, he will. But there are some things that he doesn't like to stock, and some things that you probably shouldn't buy at a pawn shop if you see them. Are there any types of tools you won't take in?
Yes, I don't. I see one right there. I don't love paint sprayers.
Okay. Okay.
I swear they're almost always broken.
Yeah.
I don't care. They can show you they work. Go buy new paint sprayers. I would not. No way, no how would I buy a used paint sprayer. Unless it looks brand spanking new and someone's going to really warranty it and I'm going to go out and use it on a job right now. But I would beware of those. I'm pretty open-minded for the general construction tools, woodworking tools. There's no, I would say the car, automotive, digital, electronic stuff to do your cars, to check what's wrong with your car. They're always outdated. They're always broken. They're always something wrong.
Yeah.
So that type of stuff.
So really you can find just about anything at a pawn shop, but the inventory is always changing, always turning over. And so what you see this week is likely not what you're going to see there the next week. One of the things that I really like about this pawn shop is their hand tools. And then you talked earlier about hand tools. So I mean, you've got a ton of hand tools here. And you said for the most part, I mean, you don't make much margin at all on some of these things. I mean, you know, like a hammer for $3 and other things like that looks pretty good.
Well, the margins aren't, there's not much there. It really is just a great draw because you can't go buy hand tools at most stores anymore.
Yeah.
They don't, there is the Harbor Freights out there, stuff like that. But Craftsman's pretty much, you just can't go buy one socket. Hard to go buy one wrench, one file, and then go price it. The prices are kooky. We're here, you know, couple bucks. We keep it nice and cheap. But my goal is I'm gonna get you in to look at this, then you're gonna turn around and look at this, and I'm gonna give you this for free because you bought that.
Right.
You know, this is a kind of a cool draw, but I'm not gonna make bank and pay my team and run my business off of hand tools.
Right.
It definitely isn't there.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
cool.
yeah.
It's cool and it's a great draw, and we love to do it for the community. Guys love it.
Now, I think that pawn shops have changed a lot over the years. I think that the prevalence of eBay and classifieds like Facebook Marketplace have really changed the pawn business. And I feel like that a lot of bad actors have gone out of business. And what you have left are people like Scott who run a great business and want to do right by their customers and their employees and price things fairly. And one of the great things about pawn shops generally is that they're usually willing to make a deal. If you're buying multiple items or if you're buying something big, they're generally going to be willing to give you a deal or give you something for free to make a deal. But you have to be careful here. If you lowball them, they're not going to like it.
It's real easy to go in and offend somebody. If I've really worked hard on my prices and I go in and I offer half, okay, that's marked 100, I'll give you $50. Well, I've worked really hard to get that price. That means everything in my store I got to give you for 50% off or we're not going to be able to make a deal.
Yeah.
So we learned a long time ago to price it right, and then when we have our big sales, or 10% really is like, wow, that isn't just a good deal, that's a great deal.
One of the last things that I want to talk about is one of the other criticisms of pawn shops, and that is that they sometimes deal in stolen goods. Now, every city or state is going to have their own laws, and in every case, it's illegal for them to sell stolen merchandise. And if they're caught, it could lead to all sorts of problems, including having their merchandise confiscated or other problems. Here's what Scott said about that criticism. So one of the challenges I've seen, and I've actually made a few videos about this, where tools sometimes get stolen from job sites, or stolen from a guy's truck, and so a lot of times this is people's livelihood, right? And it's a big problem.
I agree 100%.
So how do you make sure that the items you're taking in are not stolen?
So a lot of it is reputation. We've been around 30 years. They know the word spreads fast among thieves of who's the good guys. You'll figure it out. You'll figure it out quickly. Just that gut feeling. You'll know whether or not these guys are dealing in stolen merchandise.
Yeah.
But when we take it in, we record pictures of every item, pictures of engravings, special markings, pictures of the serial numbers. We record the serial numbers, picture of the customer, picture of their ID. We enter all their ID. We upload that to the police department within 12 hours and make sure they have all that. And then we hold it for 2 weeks minimum on a cell.
Okay.
Okay, we want to see this stuff, but we do not cater to criminals. Period. No way, no how. They figured out that it's the pawn shops that are typing in the serial numbers wrong. You're not going to find out if it's stolen, if it's typed in wrong, right?
Yeah.
So we double check. We have a team that goes back and double checks and makes sure we aren't making mistakes. But the word spreads fast. You got the good guys and the bad guys, the guys that love to deal in the dirty stuff, and the guys that don't. And I found out years ago, I don't. There's nothing, I don't want to be on the news. I don't want to take somebody's livelihood. I don't want nothing to do with that. Well, if you vet the customers right, the thieves don't like that.
Yeah.
They don't want to be vetted. They don't want questions.
Right.
They don't want friends.
Honestly, I think that you're far more likely to find stolen goods on Facebook Marketplace than you are at most pawn shops. There, like I said, are laws governing how pawn shops work, and as Scott said, he doesn't want to be on the news. So in the end, pawn shops can be a great place to find tools, but you need to be prepared. You need to find a good pawn shop. You need to find one that has the stuff that you're looking for. You need to go in with an understanding of how much things cost and how much you're willing to spend. You've got to look for clean tools that are in good working order, and you shouldn't be afraid to make deals, but also don't be insulting. And come back from time to time to see what else they may have that you may want or need. It's entirely possible to outfit your entire shop with high quality tools from pawn shops. It just takes a little bit of work. And again, I want to hear from you. If you've never been to a pawn shop, would you consider going? If you have, what's the best deal you've ever gotten? Or maybe even what's the craziest thing you've ever seen in a pawn shop? I'd love to read what you have to say, so be sure to leave me a comment. Also, if you want to see the full interview with Scott, leave a comment below and I'll post that if there's enough interest. And if you want to check out Scott's shops, I'll leave a link below. And a huge thanks to Scott for spending some time with me and explaining to me how things work and giving us his best tips. Now again, if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and share it with friends. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.